Hey, everyone. It is the Let's Get Loud podcast with Jane.
Soon to be the Let's Get Loud show.
Yes. Oh my God, every year. Like I said, I don't know
Coming.
how many years, but like basically we just need to be happy with ticket sales. So we do another year. So we already know we're doing next year because the ticket shows sale this year is already good. You get what I mean? You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
So I'm thinking of booking. Let's have this conversation with
Oh
everyone.
gosh.
Thinking of doing October 4th. I really enjoyed October 5th. It's not the long weekend.
I agree.
So yeah, so let's I was gonna send a message to the Capitol.
I
See,
think it's a great date. Kids, like, the back to school stuff is done. It's not holiday time yet. I think it's good.
yeah, I don't think it's holiday time yet, so I'll just make sure to write that. I'm sending myself an email yet again. So many
Okay,
things on
okay.
the list today, everyone. It's like really fun list though. Really fun. October 4th, 2025. Imagine
Time
20
is just going too quickly.
too quickly, having a blast.
We're gonna be 70, I'm gonna be 75 before I know it.
Yeah, 75. Wow. Don't. Yes. Okay, cool. Okay. Mm. Here I am with my Christmas mug yet again.
And
Someone commented on our YouTube video. They're like, wow, we really need that Jose magic. The Christmas might be coming soon. Although I did feel that way a little bit. Like I still do. I still do. I don't want the cold, but just that feeling of like, it's too cold to do anything. Let's just sit inside.
no, I like that first storm where you just like hunker down with the family
Wait.
and turn on the fire and do
Yeah.
a puzzle.
And everything's canceled. There's nothing you can do. Like it's just
Oh, I love that.
let's definitely be more present during those moments.
Let's, Jose.
Let's work on that. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So what you actually need for weight loss. So like basically having like a real talk with you from two women who have lost weight, that kept it off, that are happy, that you see us live our lives the way we live our lives. So there's no like, you know what I mean? Like we're not the typical people on the internet that you watch lose weight and keep it off. Like when you watch us and you know we've lost weight and we keep it off, we're like regular humans. And so we want to give you all of our secrets onto how that happens.
What do you think makes us regular humans? Is it
Our
because like
bodies,
our bodies
our
are
bodies,
not,
our body
yeah,
type. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's
Mhm.
so interesting. It just, guys, when you're thinking about who inspires you and who you're seeking advice from about weight loss, just ask yourself, have they had that personal experience, or do they just have a body that from
I'd like
societal
to have
standards I'd like to have?
something to say. Like when
Go.
I think about, I think maybe it's an age thing, like as you get older or whatever, but like when I think about people that really inspire me, like, oh, I want that. It is never about what they look like. Like, so I mean, probably at one point it was because I thought that hard work and discipline would get me there. And also that person is selling me that if I do what she does, I will look like that, which is not true, you guys. So even if you were to do what I do, you would not look like me or Alicia, like just FYI, like we're very transparent about that. But I'm like, at one point in your life, I don't know when the shift happens, but like at one point in your life, it has nothing to do with like what the person looks like. Like when I think of Huguette who spins, obviously she inspires me because she does my sport, but is 40 years older than me. So we have 40 years difference. Okay. I'm not even 40 yet. So she has been like, she has all of the life I've lived so far more than me on this earth. Does that make sense? I don't know. Sometimes I like think of that. I'm like, that is insane. Okay. So she inspires me in like all of the ways, not just physically being able to spin, but to want to do that, to go golfing and then go spinning, to basically what else? Wanting to learn how to use the app, signing up for classes, like there's more to just doing the exercise when you're older than just doing the exercise, especially when you're coming to like a spin studio. Like I just like was so impressed by her confidence, her like willingness to like figure it out. Like that is what I'm like, we should all learn from Huguette is not just the physical, like look at her go. And also like, she doesn't have like the perfect body type. Like it has nothing to do with what she looks like. I'm like, I want to be Huguette when I'm 77 because I, one, want to be physically able to do that when I'm 77. I think that's super cool. But also just the way she goes about uh obstacles, right? That's what is inspiring at her age. Because there's a lot that could have stopped her. What? There's an app? What? I need to sign up. I don't just call or send it. You know what I mean? Like, can I give you cash? No, you need a credit card. You need to figure this out. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot. And
Yeah.
she probably asked her daughter comes as well, who's in her 50s. And she probably asked for help. Good for her. That is a
Yeah.
resource. Ask for help.
I was going to say she used her resource.
Yes, like she is not married, she is widowed, and I love that I asked her, I'm like, so like how long have you been a widow? She's like, over 10 years. So he did obviously died young, right? Because she's still young. And she's like, oh, I had a few other boyfriends, and I'm like, you're just holding me back. Like, you're just holding me back. That is what J-Lo should be saying, everyone. They're just holding her back. Like, why does she need someone? Like,
She doesn't.
she definitely doesn't. Anyways, I'm like, good for you. She's like, oh, they didn't want to do the same things, and then they would want me to be home to like take care of them. Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Yeah, no,
Absolutely
for
not.
sure. Yeah, it was very interesting. And I think that's actually common though for women versus men. Like when either they separate or the maybe the spouse dies, it's like I don't need another man to take care of. But like men
Also, there's
take 2 seconds and they have another friggin' girlfriend.
it's also a numbers game. So men die sooner. So like there's
Less men
for
than women.
yeah, so they're
I see.
popular. Yeah.
I mean, let's all get together when we're 80 and go on vacations. Know what I mean?
I didn't know what you were gonna say we were gonna do. Um oh, imagine like dating in your 70s. Imagine
Yeah.
like the first time you see someone naked, you're in 70. Oh, seems exhausting.
Okay,
Oh.
let's get back to the topic on hand.
Okay, so the
Okay.
topic is just what do you actually need to create weight loss? Okay, so here's the thing. You for sure need to understand the concept of calorie deficit. Like,
Whew. Okay, wait. Because there's so many people that know and understand the concept, but then don't believe, don't experience, don't really use it. Okay, so there's two things here. You can know about calorie deficit. You can even understand it. Like doctors, nurses know about calorie deficit, understand it, but to use it to your advantage, right?
to
To use
use
it
it
your
your
way.
way
Yes, to use it your way. To
is
use
a
that knowledge, it's an experience. Like, I'm going to do this my way. And that's where people have always been told how to create a calorie deficit.
you
And
just
so, yeah.
I'm just thinking about, people, let's say in the medical field that know exactly how a human body loses weight. And they also want weight loss for themselves. Like there's some they're like, I would really like to lose weight.
Mhm.
It's not the knowledge piece, you guys, that is holding people back. So that piece is like, check.
Check.
Now it's how do I implement this systematically, consistently in my life?
I You
My life.
Yeah. So even like if you guys haven't watched our documentary, that's also insulting. Like you guys need to be all in with us, you guys. So our documentary, Dr. Adel, we've had multiple doctors in our documentary, but Dr. Adel, who's also a client of Your Weight Loss, she's also done a podcast with us, so you can go listen to her story. But she was like, I lost the weight gain. So what she was able to do, she knew about calorie deficit. She knows how to lose weight, right? And she's like, what I couldn't figure out is how to keep it off. So the consistency piece of it, how can I keep this weight off and actually incorporate this knowledge this way in my life, right? And so with that being said, then she obviously she needed to unlearn some things that were not in the medical field that were installed in her through diet culture. That's when I mean, like, it's so heavy. Diet culture is so heavy that even like doctors that know how a body loses weight still get kind of like, where they're still humans who have baggage and experience and history with weight loss. And so they still have things they need to deal with to be able to be fully consistent with calorie deficit their way.
And if you're someone who can relate to Dr. Adele's story where you have lost weight many times, I want you guys to think the reason why you keep going back and you keep gaining the weight is because the way in which you lost weight It was not authentic. You did not create lifestyle changes. You did not create habit changes. It was basically like fake. It was dieting, it was putting your life on hold to create weight loss. And then when you try to go back to your life, you're like, I've never figured this out.
And sometimes when you're in that moment and you're losing the weight and you're so like that excitement of weight loss, you're like, no, this is what I want. This is so authentic to me. This is whatever. Okay, cool. Let's say I believe you for 2 seconds that this is authentic to you. Well, you at the same time need to learn the skills, mindsets to adjust when this is not your life. So there are skills and tools that help with the adjustment of life and seasons and whatever that we do at Your Weight Loss that all diets don't do. The whole like this practice, this way can be whenever you have another kid coming. So you're moving. So you're on vacation. So like literally I can say that. However, your authentic weight loss way was perfect when life was perfect, when you weren't doing all these things. You're like, no, it was so authentic. Of course, on a perfect Monday, it's very authentic to me to be in a calorie deficit. I mean, like, I agree from 8 a.m. to like 5 p.m., you know? So it's like, no, that's not authentic. There's also, and it could be in that moment, but there's also other abilities that you need to develop in order for this to be the long-term, what it actually takes to lose weight for real. That's it. I'm done.
Okay. So it's the first time she's ever paused, I think, in the history of our podcast. I didn't know what to do with it.
The history of life.
So obviously, guys, calorie deficit is an important piece to this puzzle, okay?
Yeah.
But it's one thing to know it, and it's another thing to have knowledge, like knowledge versus knowing. Knowledge is the science, the math. The knowing piece is actually experiencing and implementing it in your own life, and that's an important piece to the puzzle. But it's like the piece, and then you're like, hey, now let's work on everything else.
Yeah, because okay, so there's knowing calorie deficit, knowing that that exists, but also a lot of you, I think, man, if you've been listening, like you know that that is the thing, that is how a human body loses fat. So it's like, okay, I know that, but then it's like, how can I be consistent now with that knowledge and create? Yeah, so consistency is needed. And I think that everyone in all of the diet industry and fitness industry would agree that results come from consistency. Like everyone agrees with that. No one's against it. However, why is it so hard for us to be consistent when we're trying to lose weight, Alicia?
That's an important question for you guys to ask yourself. And it's like one of three things or a combination. It's that you're changing things you're changing for weight loss alone. So you're eating cottage cheese, even though you don't like it. You're going to the workout because it's the best workout, but you don't like it. So that's why you're struggling to be consistent. Or you're changing way too much too soon.
Yeah.
So you do want to be the person that walks 6 times a week, but you just went from the couch. And so trying to change too much too soon, you're not being consistent, you're getting discouraged, or you are not staying connected to it every single day.
Yeah.
Like you can't be like, I want to lose weight. And then you don't think about it or plan for it or give it attention or be intentional every single day. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's one of those three things or a combination why you are not being consistent.
Yeah. Okay. So how can someone start being consistent?
Great question. You need to have awareness.
Well,
Like that's
it needs to be your way. Like that is that's why like we keep being able to keep it up because what you want keeps changing. So you have to stay connected to what you want. So the connection piece that Alicia was talking about. And then your way, if it feels too hard, then it's not your way right now. And just, okay, I can't be consistent with 6 times a week. I don't know what I was thinking. And also, I'm sorry, it's almost like when you have 0 kids and you're like, I want 4. When you want 1, you say if you want 2. When you want 2, then you want 3. You can't know what you want before there are steps to what you want. Okay. Even saying, I want to lose 30 pounds. Listen, start with, I want to lose weight. Like I cannot live in this body anymore. Okay. Once you lose 5, you can decide if you want 10 and then 15. Like that's literally because you don't know if you actually want to lose 30 pounds because of the shit you will need to do to lose 30 pounds. You don't know if you want those things. So I do believe we live in this world. It's like, we say that we want a lot of things in regards to like what makes us look like I'm going to say I want to lose 30 pounds and then at least it's out there in the universe. Um, it's not like that. Like that's not how it works. And also like, why 30? Why not 26? Like what, like we're just attaching too much in that number. It's more like, I
Often we're attaching it to like the lowest we've ever been or the weight we were
yes.
at our
Oh
wedding
yeah.
or
Oh
like
yeah.
that one time I was that weight for 5 minutes and I remember how great I felt. You know what I mean? Like we're connecting it to something that's not the actual
Not our
actions
actual
required to
life.
get there.
Yes.
And why I said awareness is because not everyone is at the point where they actually know what even is authentic to them.
Yeah.
And that's why your weight loss, we just have so many tools for you guys because all come in at different points in the journey. And some of you are like, I know who I am, I know what I want, I know what I like. And some of you are like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what is authentic to me. And you've been lived your life in the should or have to for so
Excellent.
long that you literally don't even realize what lights you up anymore.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm happy you said like what lights you up, what wakes you up, what makes you feel alive. Okay.
Yes.
And so in order for you to know what makes you feel alive, you're going to have to live different experiences and try different things than you are doing right now that don't make you feel alive. And so that's the piece of like, even like, let's say our girls' night, you're like, oh my God, that felt so good. Like I need to do that more. Let's say, okay, you were very serious about wanting to feel alive more often. Then you wouldn't just wait for the opportunity. You'd be intentional about, so in order for you to live a life where you really feel awake and present and whatever, you have to grab opportunities where you're like, whoa, I'm noticing this makes me feel right good. Like when you're out for your walk or at spin or whatever makes you feel like, wow, that really makes me feel awake and alive. I need to prioritize more of that because I'm freaking important and I should feel alive and awake and happy. I should live a life. I should lead a life that I'm excited about, right? And so as much as you're like, what does this have to do with weight loss? Everything. That's how you're consistent. If everything that you're doing for weight loss is just shit to you and you hate it and it sucks, do you think you're going to be consistent with that? No, because your brain cannot handle suck for too long. It
No.
really can't. Like you will not do that for long.
Your brain will keep you comfortable. Your brain will
It's
will
gonna be like, let's
convince
go back.
you. Yeah.
You're better
Your
on the
brain.
couch. You're better with your boule. Just
Yeah.
here. It's way better here.
Do you remember when we did the 12 weeks of action? There was like that, it was
Mhm.
like a diagram and it was like the change. Okay. And it's like at the beginning of change, you're like, I'm going to lose weight. It's going to be amazing. And it's like, you're optimistic, but you don't know what it's really going to take. So you're
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. But you're just basically looking at things with rose tinted glasses.
Yeah.
And then you get into the valley of despair, it's called.
Yeah.
And basically that's where often people give up.
Yeah.
And it's like, and you will give up if it sucks and it's not authentic to you and it's not a part of your way. You have to keep going.
You will also give up, Leash, if what you're doing was just to see the number down and it didn't go down.
Yeah.
You're like, why the fuck would I do this?
Yeah.
Like if I'm to do this sucky thing, I better get results. When we were weighing people, yuck. But when we were weighing people and they would say, if I don't lose weight this week, I quit or never mind. I'm like, that's when I was like, oh my God, no. That's not how we see what the scale has to say to us. Like, then why did you do the things you needed to do? Like all you did this week was just for that number. It wasn't how you wanted to show up. Like, how many times do I show up doing all the things that people would say would give weight loss? Exercising, making sure that my meals
Egg
have
whites.
egg whites. Yeah, exactly. All the things. If people were to look at me, it's like, oh, like, you know what I mean? Like, if I do that, I would lose weight. I don't lose weight. Like, I get on the scale and it doesn't go down. Like, it stays the same. After a while, it doesn't lose weight. Like, this is your life. This is what you choose every day. That's what maintenance is when you just get there. Now, if I only were to do those things to only see the scale go down because it's the only like medal that I deserve. No, the medal I deserve is how good I feel and the life I've created because it's the life I want. It's the simple life that I've wanted. So it's like very interesting to me when if you connect that, you will not, because you will not always lose weight when you think you deserve to lose weight. That's not how it works.
It's such a different concept for people, but guys, I want you to think about how you show up in this world. And I want you to think about maybe specific habits Maybe it's binging on the weekend. Maybe it's overeating at night. Maybe it's, I don't know, eating extra bites of your kids' stuff that are like behaviors that make you feel like, why did I do that? I don't like that. That doesn't align with who I want to be. Imagine if you removed all of those. And if I had a magical wand and I could be like, but you're going to be exactly who you want to be. And you're like, oh, I got takeout again. Why didn't I cook supper? You would that the byproduct of changing those habits would be weight loss.
I have
I
to say,
truly
yeah,
believe
yeah.
that. I
And
know that to my core. And then what you're chasing is you, happiness, fulfillment,
yeah.
curiosity, and the byproduct is weight
And
loss,
no more, yeah, and no more feeling like, oh, why did I? You know what I mean?
which is the
Which
worst.
is the worst. And also, like, I really truly believe that mostly at the beginning of their journey, it's not even about like your kids' bites. It's literally like zero planning, overstuffing, overeating, 3 plates at supper. Like you're over consuming without any intention. I truly believe that. After a while, yes, it comes down to like, do I want these bites? Whatever. But at the beginning, like I think of what, and we're gonna have Jessie on the podcast, and she was really like, she doesn't take her kids extra bites. Like that's not her thing. For her, it was like, I never listen to my hunger. I just like eat. You know what I mean? If something would taste good, it's like, oh, there you go, blah, blah, blah. It was just like overeating all the time. All she had to do was be just more intentional with when she's hungry, when she's not, when she's full, just that inner feeling, because she's like, she wasn't noticing how stuffed she was every time she was finishing a meal, you know? And we do that sometimes. Like, I'm not saying that it never, but it's how about we do less of that? Like, I definitely eat over stuff, like at the, Chelsea's thing, like definitely ate too much cheese and crackers, whatever, where I felt really stuffed. Back up, that happens, but it happens way less often than when I was 70 pounds heavier. Know what I mean? Like just way less of that stuffiness. It's a feeling.
Stuffiness.
It's a feeling, and it's not a good one. Know what I
It's
mean?
not.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to come back to it, guys. At the end of the day, if
Yeah.
you want to create weight loss for yourself, you find a way to consume less energy than you're currently consuming. And
Yeah.
so you
Your
get to
way.
the best part is you get to decide what that looks like, how you do that. And if you chase a way that is authentic to you, you're going to be consistent. And
Consistent.
when you're consistent, you get results.
Yeah. And on top of,
Repeat.
yes, repeat. And on top of that, with your weight loss and all the coaching and all the advice and all the things that we offer you as a service, it also not only is it just like, okay, create a calorie deficit your way. That is like not that easy when your way in your brain is diet. You don't
Yes.
even know what that is. So we have tools and courses to teach you what are your food values. So we're bringing you back to the basics of you before you can go and create your way. So we know what's up. Like we've been doing this for 13 years. Like we know what the process needs to be. So like when you join, it's like you have to look at these courses before you can go and create weight loss your way. Not that we don't trust you, but we don't trust you. Because if you start creating weight loss your way today, you're just going to go back to the diet that worked in 1990, because that's all you know. So there's a lot of unlearning and learning before you're like, okay, wow, okay, I'm ready to today be intentional with a calorie deficit my way, because I've like done some research on who the fuck I am. Like not just who I think I should be and what I should be doing. Like a lot of you think it's authentic, but it isn't. I'm sorry. Like you buying your broccoli and fish, if that would have been authentic, that would have been on the grocery list last week and the week before. It wasn't. So it's not who you are. It's who you are when you want to lose weight.
Yeah.
That was good.
So, so bringing you guys back, you want to create, what do you need for weight loss? Create a calorie deficit, create a calorie deficit your way so that you are consistent. Okay. Now here's the consistency piece. So here's the piece where you need us. You need a community.
Yeah.
You need to see other people having the same experience as you, the
Yeah.
support. You need a community. You're going to need coaching.
Yeah.
You're going to
like,
need,
yeah, you're
like,
gonna
it's
need some
done.
different perspectives.
You're going to need to work on your mindset,
Yeah.
which is like our daily coaching sessions, our course. You're going to need tools like our templates
Yeah.
and our resources. All of these things are what you're going to need. So that's how you're going to do this consistently. That's how you're going to make actual change.
Yeah.
That's why we're doing the 4 months, because the 4 months is going to give you guys time to come in,
Yeah.
take in the content,
Yeah.
start creating change in your life, seeing how that goes. One thing I need to say as well, you guys, throw out your timelines.
Yeah.
Like if you the when I decided to join Your Way Weight Loss after having lost and gained weight my whole adult life, I finally said to myself, I'm not giving up this time and I'm not putting a timeline on my goal. Like
No.
I needed that for myself. I was like, I'm just gonna keep going. And if I don't lose weight this week, I adjust.
It doesn't matter because I have forever to go. I have forever to go. I was so lucky, you know, when I first started losing weight when I was 13, I still remember my dad saying that to me. After getting on the scale the first week and I lost 7 pounds. Okay. And then the next week I didn't lose anything. And I remember being I'm 13, you guys, like still so much trauma there, you know, like just think about it, but still I was so lucky as much as my parents put me on Weight Watchers when I'm 13. I mean, they didn't know better and this is what it is, right? I still like I remember my dad saying like, what does it matter? Where are you going? Like we're trying to like really, this is forever. Like we're not, there's no timeline. There's like used to void. What's the rush? I remember him saying that. And so that was a really good approach that I needed for sure when it comes to weight loss that we can all like kind of learn from. But at the end of the day, this is like like you're a project. It's your life. So your life is not ending in 6 months, though, just because you lost 20, 40 pounds, though. Like it keeps going. So you should be planning for that, right? What's next? How do I want to make sure that this is really incorporated in my life and that it's not like, when is this over? I mean, we've been saying this over and over again, but it just like is a really good reminder for people. So there's one more week to join for 4 months. The 4 month membership goes away after that. And I just feel like we love that timeline. Honestly, I think that it's long enough for you to have physical changes and mindset changes as well. It is a really, really good timeline for you to see the value of your weight loss as well in your life. And then you can make a decision, is this for me or is this not? But at the end of the day, today's the day that you make, like, I want to try this. Like, I'm curious, like I said, last podcast. So
Yeah.
go and click that link. Again, so accessible to you. Send us a message when you need us, or if you need just like that little extra pep talk. But if you're listening and we're really getting to like the point in your heart and you're feeling hopeful, you want to be hopeful, okay? Because there is hope, Lo. Like you have access to this, Lo. You have access to losing weight your way.
You just have to be open to it. You need to be
Yeah.
open to doing it
Yeah,
differently.
I like
That's
that.
it. Open to doing it differently.
I'm open to learning how to
Yeah.
figure out my way.
And I'm willing to give it the time that it will require for me to see progress. Like that's literally what you need.
Which honestly, I can't understand that people wouldn't want that, because I'm just like, it was so important to me 20 years ago. Like all I wanted was this. Your weight loss has been created because this service was not provided to me. Okay. So I was like, where is the service that allows me to figure out losing weight my way? Who's going to help me do that? No one did. So now it's like, okay, with all of this experience and all of this, like, le vécu, like we've really lived, like having 2 kids and there's a lot that has happened in the last 13 years and here we still are. So clearly we know what we're talking about. I'm sorry, but clearly we know what we're talking about. Like, je le dis là. At the beginning, you're like, oh, I'm young and I'm not sure. Nah, like with everything we've been through with having kids and not, and being 30 and then 40 and whatever, and we're still here, still, managing our weight, as people would say, and still so connected to our health and our standards and what we want. I mean, that's real transformation. And I think that's what people want as well. So I can't see someone not being like, no, I don't want to figure it out my way. I'm just going to stay this way. Then I don't connect with that. Like I really wanted to figure out my way. So if you're like, oh man, like, and again, we interviewed so many of our members, and the ones that are successful are like, what got to me was your way. I really wanted to figure out my way. So if this speaks to you, come on, it's time.
All right. One,
Have
two,
a
three,
great,
go.
yeah, 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, have a great week, you guys, and we'll see you next Monday. Bye.
Bye.